Imagine if your money could grow while you sleep. No hard work, no stress, just growing like a magic beanstalk. Sound too good to be true? Well, that's exactly what compound interest does. Today, we're going to break down how compound interest works and why it's the secret weapon to growing your money faster than you might think. Ready? Let's dive in. All right, so what is compound interest? In the simplest terms, it's when you earn interest not just on the money you put in, but also on the interest you've already earned. It's like a snowball rolling down a hill, getting bigger and bigger. With compound interest, your money earns interest, and then that interest starts earning interest too. It's money that makes more money. What's better than that? Now let's compare compound interest with something called simple interest. Simple interest only pays you based on the initial amount you invest, your principal. No snowball here. But compound interest, that's the magical stuff that keeps growing. So, let's say you invest $100 at 5% simple interest. After 1 year, you'll have $105 after the second year, another $5 bringing you to $110 simple, right? But with compound interest after year one, you'll still have $105. But after year two, you're earning interest on that $105, so you get $5.25 in interest, a little more. It might not seem like a big difference at first, but over time, that extra boost adds up in a big way. And speaking of time, the real magic of compound interest is in how long you let your money grow. The longer you leave it, the bigger that snowball gets. Time is your best friend when it comes to compounding. Let's say you invest $100 a month from the age of 25 and let it grow at 7% interest. By the time you're 65, you could have over $250,000. But if you start at 35 with the same amount, you'll end up with just about $120,000. That's a huge difference. So the earlier you start, the more time your money has to work its magic. Even small amounts invested early can turn into big numbers later. Here's a neat trick to estimate how long it'll take for your money to double. It's called the Rule of 72. All you do is take 72 and divide it by your interest rate, and boom, you'll know roughly how many years it'll take for your investment to double. So if your interest rate is 6%, it'll take about 12 years for your money to double. That's the power of compound interest in action. It's like watching your savings grow in fast forward. Now let's talk real life. Where can you actually see compound interest in action? You'll see compound interest in places like savings accounts, though these days the interest rates aren't exactly sky high. But where compound interest really shines is in long-term investments like your 401k or an IRA. For example, a 401k is a great place to let compound interest do its thing over decades. The stock market historically grows around 7 to 8% a year, so if you invest regularly and let that money sit, compound interest can make a huge difference over the long run. Now, while compound interest is amazing, it's not all sunshine and rainbows if you don't use it right. Let's talk about a couple of common mistakes that can mess up your compounding magic. Mistake number one, cashing out too early. Remember, compound interest loves time. The longer you let your money grow, the better. Mistake number two, not reinvesting your dividends or interest payments. If you take out the money you earn, you break that snowball effect. Patience is the key here. Give your money time to do the heavy lifting. All right, let's recap everything we've learned about compound interest today. Compound interest is interest on interest, growing your money faster over time. The earlier you start, the bigger your gains. The Rule of 72 helps you figure out how long it takes for your money to double. Time and reinvesting are the keys to maximizing compound interest. At the end of the day, compound interest is one of the simplest and most powerful tools for growing your wealth. It's the perfect example of how starting small and being consistent can lead to massive results down the road. So don't wait, start putting your money to work for you today. And remember, just like that snowball, the sooner you start, the bigger it gets.